Hello students and welcome to the online session for the subject of history. Today we are going to discuss the second chapter from your textbook, India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. In the first half of the 17th century, an epoch-making personality emerged in Maharashtra. He was Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He established Swaraj by challenging the ruling powers in Maharashtra. Before we learn about him, we need to understand about the various ruling powers in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. Therefore, in this video, we are going to know about the various ruling powers in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. We are going to understand about the invasions from the northwest. We will try to gather information about the kingdom of Vijayanagar and Bahamani. Let's begin. In the 8th century, Pal was a famous dynasty in Bengal. In central India, the Gurjar Pratihar power spread up to Andhra, Kalinga, Vidarbha, West Kathiawar, Kannauj and Gujarat. Among the Rajput dynasties in North India, the Gadwal and Parmar dynasties were the important ones. Among the Rajput dynasty, Prithviraj Chauhan was a very famous ruler. He had to fight against Muhammad Ghori. In Tamil Nadu, Chola dynasty was famous. King Vishnuvardhan, belonging to the Hoysala dynasty, conquered the whole of Karnataka, whereas Maharashtra witnessed the dynasty of Rashtrakutas. Three dynasties of Shalihars emerged in western Maharashtra. One dynasty ruled over Thane and Raigad in North Konkan, the second in South Konkan, while the third dynasty ruled over some parts of the present-day Kolhapur, Satara and Sangli. It is believed that the last prosperous power before the period of Shivaji Maharaj was that of Yadavas in Maharashtra. The Yadav period is considered to be the golden period of Marathi language and literature. The capital of Bhilam fifth of Yadava dynasty was at Devgiri near Aurangabad. Now let's discuss about the Warkari movement and Mahanubhav Pantha which emerged during the Yadava dynasty. In the Warkari movement, there was no place for the discrimination of people on the basis of their religion, caste or color. In the same manner, Mahanubhav Pantha also accepted all the people belonging to all castes and belonging to all communities. There was no discrimination between them. The most important features of both of these movements were they brought about a social as well as religious reform in the society. Because of these movements, people came together, they stayed united and they started considering each other as devotees of God. In Warkari movement, Vitthal was their deity, whereas in Mahanubhav Pantha, it is believed that Lord Krishna was their deity. Chakradhar Swami is said to be the founder of Mahanubhav Pantha. In some of the resources of history, it is said that Govinda Prabhu founded this Panth. In this way, Yadav period was known as a golden period of Marathi language because this period witnessed the social and religious reforms by Warkari movement Mahanubhav Pantha. India had to face various invasions from the northwest. The local dynasties like Yadava and Rashtrakuta ruled in Maharashtra, but invaders from the northwest conquered the local dynasties and established their own rule. Now let us know who were these invaders. The Arab power had emerged in the Middle East. Arab rulers turned towards India to expand their empire. And in the period that followed, Turks, Afghans and Mughals from Central Asia came to India and established their rule here. Dear students, before we move further, I would like to explain you two important terms. And the terms are BC and CE. I hope you all can see a diagram on the screen. We can say that it is a timeline. We all know that history talks about ancient time also and current time also. How to decide that how old an incident is? So, we have considered an imaginary timeline. But there has to be a central mark from where we can measure the time before this mark and after this mark. Can you see a yellow dotted line at the mid of the line? It is known as the time period when Jesus Christ was born. So this midline, yellow dotted line, let us consider is a birth year of Jesus Christ. So historians consider the era before the birth of Jesus Christ as the era before Christ. It means BC, before Christ. And again from the yellow dotted line towards the right hand side where the pink arrow shows you the time is the time after the birth of Christ. It is known as Anno Domini. These days, instead of AD, Anno Domini, the term CE is used as it is known as Common Era or Current Era. So BC is before Christ, CE is Common Era. Students, in 1175 CE and 1178 CE, Sultan Muhammad Ghuri of Ghur from Afghanistan invaded India. He appointed Qutubuddin Aibak to look after the governance of the conquered territories in India. Later, after the death of Muhammad Ghuri, Aibak began to rule Indian territories under his own rule independently. What is most remarkable thing about Aibak? Aibak, who was initially a slave, became the ruler of Delhi. He died in 1210 CE. This is how India witnessed the Sultanate in the north part. Do you know who was the last Sultan? Ibrahim Lodi was the last Sultan. During the reign of Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq of Delhi, there were many revolts in the south against the central power of Delhi. From these revolts arose the formidable Vijayanagar and Bahmani kingdoms. Now I am going to tell you some important information about the kingdoms of Vijayanagar and Bahmani. There were two brothers, the brothers Harihar and Bukka. They were from South India. They were the Sardars in the service of the Delhi Sultanate. They took advantage of the instability of the Sultanate and they founded the kingdom of Vijayanagar in the south in 1336 CE. Hampi, that is in today's Karnataka, was their capital. and Harihar was the first king of Vijayanagar. In the same way, while Muhammad bin Tughlaq was still reigning, some of his sardars in the Deccan rose in rebellion against him. The leader of these sardars, he was Hassan Gangu. He defeated the army of the Sultan of Delhi and a new kingdom came to be existence, that is Bahamani kingdom. Hassan Gangu became the first Sultan of Bahamani kingdom. He made the city of Gulbarga in Karnataka his capital. This is how these two kingdoms, Vijayanagar and Bahamani, are very important before times of Shivaji Maharaj. Now let's gather some information about a very famous ruler from Vijayanagar kingdom. He was Krishnadev Raya. Krishnadev Raya ascended the throne of Vijayanagar in 1509 CE. He was a scholar and he wrote Amukta a Telugu compendium on polity. The Hazaram temple and Vitthal temple were built in Vijayanagar during his reign. Now let's recall what we have learnt in this presentation. We learnt about various ruling powers in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj, such as Pal dynasty, Rajput dynasty, Gadhwal dynasty, Parmar dynasty, Chola dynasty, Hoysal dynasty, Rashtrakuta dynasty and Shalihar dynasty. We also learnt about the invasions from the northwest, invasions of Arabs, Turks and Afghans. We tried to know about the kingdom of Vijayanagar and Bahamani kingdom also. In the second part of the lesson, we are going to discuss about the rule of Mughal power in India. But today, I am concluding the session here. Thank you.